Auto Rush! What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug. This is Rush VR on the PlayStation VR. It costs $25. Also on the Oculus and Steam for $20. As always, this copy provided by the publisher. This is a base jumping, wingsuit, skydiving type of video game, and I'm going to sit here and obviously recalibrate before I can get started here. So we're going to recalibrate as I am seated and not standing. There we go. Hold my arms out, get myself calibrated, and then I will show you just what this game does in the very beginning, because there are 4 different mountains here, and it ramps up quite significantly. So I'm going to hop back in here into the first stage where the AI here are less difficult and less tricky. And let's get it done. Have some energy drinks and do some things. If you have a fear of heights, maybe don't play this game. Maybe don't get too close to the edge and that kind of thing. We have our AI compatriots. The game does have online multiplayer. Not sure how populated that is these days. This came out last month on PSVR and came out during the summer on Oculus and Vive and such, that kind of thing. So basically, this is the main kind of, most recommended control scheme, which is with the moves. So you're kind of stuck with, alright, how much can the PS4 camera track? And that can be an issue occasionally. This is not particularly a realistic wingsuit game because you have boost and, all kinds of video game contrivances, which is, hey, get close to the ground to earn more boost and that kind of thing. But I'd say this main control scheme does feel pretty much the best, but there are a pretty large variety of different kinds of control schemes in the game. So once you have boost, if you stick by the ground or a wall or whatever, you can keep earning more boost and keep extending your boost. That's kind of how you win these races. And when you start out early on, it's not that bad. It's, the AI is not super aggressive in their boosting, but as I will show you here in a bit, it does ramp up significantly, quite a bit. There we go, keep on boosting that. So I'm going to go here and stick close to this wall, go under this waterfall. I got some cool rain effects on my face, and I can dig that. But I should be down. I might have missed the... Yep, alright, well, I screwed that up, but okay. So, generally, your sense of... See, yeah, I totally botched that. My bad! Your sense of depth here, or your sense of falling, is occasionally pretty good. It's like, if you played a lot of VR, it might not get you, but if you're kind of fresh into the VR and you want that feeling of falling, they do a pretty good job of it here in Rush VR. But I would imagine, like most VR games, it's going to be better on a higher-end system like the Vive or the Oculus. But here on PSVR, with the moves, it does, it's not a terrible job. It gets the job done, as such, and I don't have any real problems there. For 25, maybe a bit steep, no pun intended, maybe a little bit, but I'll take second place if I can get it, even on the first stage. And then you get your little thing there with your parachute, and you can kind of, you can sit here and parachute all the way to the camp over there if you really want to, which is like, even the parachute feeling is a little bit different than the feeling of the, wingsuit thing, and then you kind of land here, and it goes to black, and you've completed your event. And you see there, I came in 4th because I missed a checkpoint, and that cost me 5 seconds on my time. So it is all time-based. Now, once you beat a stage in the regular race mode, you also unlock it in time attack, and there's a 3rd mode in here. And that 3rd mode is the score challenge. So we're going to head in here and actually do one of those score challenges. And I'm thirsty. Yeah, some Sunshine Cola. Can I? Yes! Yes, VR! This is why VR is great! Ah! Screw you, Andressa. Anyway. So yes, all the stages that you have are unlocked once you unlock them in regular race mode. Score is 0. I have nobody here with me on the platform, but let's go anyway. And do the thing. So yes, you want to be grinding, which is getting close to the ground. And be hitting these deals as close as you can. And then get your score up. Get your scour out. Whoop, and don't, yes, you can't hit the trees. That is bad. That will end your run. So kind of one of my major things with this is the load times are not the best. And when you have to, you know, keep on loading between stages and that kind of thing, it can get a little bit tedious. But, you know, kind of, it is what it is with most video games. You kind of get used to it. But for a game like this, you kind of want to always be in the game at all times and not staring at a load bar and that kind of thing. But that is what it is. I need to be grinding more here because that gets me more boost, and I need boost, and I'm going the wrong way. And yes, they will praise you when you're doing more of this, which is good. They'll be like, yeah, I'll keep doing that, and I'll be like, hell yeah, I'll keep doing that. Hell yeah, bruh. So yeah, you occasionally do get a just good sense of vertigo and a good sense of, man, I'm falling through the sky, and that's kind of what you want. So the game, you know, for basically doing one thing, it does it pretty well. And I can definitely vibe with that. Controls are pretty simple, just kind of move your arms to turn, and that's basically all you gotta do. It's not that much more complex. It is in the fine-tuning of, you know, grinding and getting through these things, that's where all the actual finesse is, and when you get good at that, you know, that's alright. But playing it in different control schemes is a little bit weird, like with head turning or with a controller. I appreciate the fact that they had that included here, but some of those don't feel great. Like, with a controller, it's way too herky-jerky in how it feels, and I wouldn't recommend playing it with a just regular DualShock controller. Like, that, for me, was actually way more uncomfortable than playing it with these two-move controllers. So, you can do it, but if you're going to use that kind of thing, I would say definitely use just headset turning with your face. Or use the motion control with the DualShock, which is, you know, just tilting and twisting the controller might actually be better for that stuff. But one thing I will say is that it seems like there's only one song per mountain, and the songs get super repetitive, and that's not cool. But here we go. I got my challenge here, and I did a thing. But yes, this load bar here, between loading in back into the plane and then loading into the actual stages, it's longer than I feel it should be for a game that is not particularly that graphically intense. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but when you're playing a lot of it at one time, that does kind of get to you. So, you see here, I have 24 points. I don't have enough to unlock the 40 points for the third world here, but that's kind of how that goes. I'm actually going to hit random here, because what it does is it will matchmake in the background, right? So, you can keep on playing here, which we're going to do, and maybe it'll find a game. I'm getting this recorded on a Sunday, but maybe it won't, because it's VR, and that's even harder than finding actual games in multiplayer regularly a month after release. So the Frozen Alps here is where I kind of got stuck, right? So I played up to number 9 here, and that's a little difficult. I was like, all right, let me hop into the second world here in the Alps. And this one here, even that is like, the opponents definitely do way more boosting, way more drifting, way more grinding, and that definitely is like, all right, you need to really keep up. You need to really be on 1,000% on your game here. And the problem with that is a lot of times you're going to hit the ground. So that's the, you know, risk-reward there. You can't just kind of glide through life and hope for the best and be able to actually get in first, second, or third place, which is what earns you the points to actually unlock more stuff. So here we are in the snow. Hey guys, how you doing? Oh, airplane. Hey guys, how you doing? So yeah, so it's still gonna say finding game there, which is cool. I can appreciate not making me sit on a menu, right, to do that. But now it's like, all right, well, we need to like grind everything because otherwise it's gonna be a problem. I'm not like doing that yet, so need to be really just on top of things here and getting as close to this snow-covered mountain and then just constantly boosting. Because if you're not, you're just kind of boned. I'm surprised I didn't hit that branch. I really am surprised I didn't hit that branch. So you want to constantly be seeing the orange. As long as you see the orange, you're good. if you're not seeing orange when you're near a thing, then you're not going to see. They're all way ahead of me, because they're all, like, being good AI and just grinding on everything, and I'm clearly not good enough at this game. But once you see the orange there at the bottom, then you're good, and you can kind of do that. But yeah, this is trying to just, yeah, like, where am I going to grind here? You got to get down, and occasionally VR here is not your friend in terms of the PS4 camera tracking these Move controllers. Like, there's a range, and if you're out of that range, it's a problem. So yeah, I'm not close enough to this mountain. Ah! Keep on, keeping on! But, like, the game's cool. Like, I like how it plays. I'm just really bad at it, which is, you know, for making progress. Because I wanted to open up that third mountain for this video, but it just wasn't going to happen. Like, I tried. Oh, Lord, did I try! And it was just not happening. So, I was like, you know what? We got things to film, we got things to do. But, like, I think there are shortcuts, or at least I found spots that seemed like they might be shortcuts, and that seemed cool. So, if you really want to, like, memorize these tracks and whatnot, but it's the same 4 mountains, you're just kind of doing different, you know, runs down these mountains. So, on that effect, it could get a little bit tedious to some people, but if you're enjoying the core gameplay, I would say that, you know, that's kind of not as much of a concern, and such. But this is kind of my problem, I'm not good at it, so... Don't hit! I hit. And that's the problem, is you get that close to the end, right? I had 9 out of 10 checkpoints, and I crash. So I get nothing. You get nothing, you die. So take that, virtual reality. Take that, Dan. Dan the man. You ain't seeing nothing now, Dan, are you? Nothing. Nothing but nobody. Are you cold, Dan? Shut up. Ben. You too. You too. Yeah, so there's a handful of different things you can kind of mess around with here. And that's kind of fun. Like, I dig having any kind of interactivity in my video games. So before I do one more, I'll actually show you. There are the hands. You can look. You can tilt. You can use controller, rotation, pointing, direction, and tilt. There are a lot of control schemes to choose from for whatever your comfort happens to be. So you got kind of issues here with your sensitivity and vignette, and you've got options to really kind of get into all that VR business. You're unlocking these different kinds of wingsuits. When you get different points, you can kind of get this stuff here. So you can get different colors, different designs of wingsuits, and that's cool. But I'm all like, give me the orange, baby. Give me the orange. So we're going to hop back here and go back to the first world where I stopped playing, which is number 9 here.
Approaching jump point.
Okay, here we go with these clowns once again. Let's get the job done and see how it turns out. I've hit these rocks so many times, just trying to get a little bit more boost. Give me a little bit more boost. That's all I want. But you want to kind of be near these rocks to get those points and that boost, because otherwise you're just not going to make it. You're just going to be boned, because they're just too good. Like, the computer just gets too good, and you're not making any progress because they're just too good. They're just constantly boosting, and you're like, well, how come I can't constantly boost? Because you're not good enough. You're not doing the thing enough. Like this. Don't hit the tree, George of the Jungle. Watch out for that tree. Watch out for that giant rock. It's a rock wall. The rock says, don't smack into me. Yeah, see, they're all just leave me in the dust, as they do. So obviously you get some boosts from hitting checkpoints, but it's not usually enough to keep up with them. And then, what the hell was that? My tracking got messed up. You can see that I have my TV covered with a sheet because, hey, helicopter, because the fact that these reflections will have a problem with that, because that TV's a little bit glossy. But thankfully, when you hit retry, there's no load bar there. That's the only good thing about that, is you can kind of just get back into it right away, which is nice. But sometimes when the tracking is off with PSVR, which is why I say probably if you have a Vive or an Oculus, perhaps use that version of this game. A, it's cheaper, and B, it's going to track better than this tracks with this camera, which has always been a limitation of the system, like it always has. But I'm not that good. Anyway, this is Rush VR on PlayStation VR. See, that was just a bad throw. It is $25. Cheaper on Oculus and Vive. And that kind of, yeah, that's just, it's not, can I just, give me a, yeah, it's not a good throw. Oh yeah, definitely underhand it and try to get it in that way. It kind of does what it's supposed to do. There are a handful of nagging issues that I'm kind of annoyed by, but when it works, it feels really good, and that's kind of what you want from a game that's trying to do one very particular thing. Anyway, come on, go in, man. I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos on this channel. Tune in, and I'll see you next time right here on this channel. Yeah. And I'm out.